Hey guys, it's May. It's May to December, and sorry about the quality of the camera because I haven't got my other camera yet. I'm having to do some reviews on my webcam, so please excuse the quality. It will get better once my new camera turns up. So to be honest with you, I did a short review earlier, kind of on the My DVD Reviews channel after I watched this with James. But I wanted to do a more kind of deeper, more personal one of graduation day. So basically, let me give you a bit of a backstory. When I was a wee lad, so when I was a little lad, my mum was a big horror fan, and basically she would buy VHSs of, horror films like Graduation Day, Prom Night, My Bloody Valentine, Halloween, you name it, Christine, whatever, right? So I used to get to watch them at a really young age, and I kind of grew up on them. So things like Christine and that became like my favourite movies. I still don't own that on Blu-ray, and I want to, but it's Twilight Time, which annoys me. Anyway, so I watched Graduation Day originally on VHS, and I remember being a little boy, and I remember liking the kills, but thinking the rest of the story was boring. I then later watched it, 10 years later, maybe less than that, on DVD. And it was a cheap, crappy DVD. It was alright quality, but it wasn't anything particularly special. So, plain, normal, crappy cover, with terrible artwork and everything. And, oh, excuse me. And I basically watched it then, and I didn't like it either. Well, I did, but I didn't. I liked it a lot more, but the quality wasn't that great. But my mum always loved it. It was always one of her favourite horror films. Well, Vinegar Syndrome mentioned, what was it, about 4 months ago, that it was actually coming out properly on a release date. And this was the release. But basically, it came out today. It was released today, and I got it, obviously, from Amazon on the day of release. Basically, this is the DVD Blu-ray copy. Just basic inside. I wish they'd do the double flat bit. I hate when they have it like this. But anyway. So, there's an English copy coming out as well from, I think it's 88 Films. And they've got a documentary on it. And to be fair, I do want to get the documentary as well. So I've got the other one on pre-order as well. So I'm going to have 2 copies of a film. But originally I wasn't sure if I'd like. But now that I've got into that, I've got the Blu-ray today. And before I start, I'm going to talk about the special features. So the special is new 4K restoration. An original theatrical trailer. It does look really nice on Blu-ray and on the DVD, to be fair. It's one of those, even if you've just got a DVD player, you should pick out because the DVD looks great as well. The video interviews with lead actress Paige McKenzie, that was quite interesting because she talks about how the main star, the main character, reminded her of character she did beforehand. And it tells you a bit of backstory, it tells you bits about the film. Then you've got director Herb Frey, producer David Baldwin, and editor Martin J. Sadoff in video interviews. And they'll say some things that are pretty interesting about the film. New things that you might not know about. And it's good to have it anyway, because none of that stuff was on the DVDs from what I know of. And there might have been somewhere, but not what I know of. And then you've got 2 audio commentaries. The first one's by David Bourne, and the other one is by The Hysteria Continues. Now, I haven't listened to them both yet. I listened to parts of them. They were both really good. I definitely recommend getting it for the commentaries. Anyway, so the quality of I would highly recommend it on the quality because the quality of the Blu-ray is beautiful. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's never going to be perfect because it's 80s, but it's great. I mean, it's the best I've ever seen the film. I mean, blows it out there. Now, I can't really tell much about the cast because I don't know much of the cast. I know Christopher George, and I know a couple of the other people in it, but I can't name because I know them by face. But I will say, I always end up with this off the screen. I will say, I watched this again today for the very 7th time probably in my life, and I don't know why the cover has an axe on there when there's no axe. There's no axe in it. But anyway, that don't matter. I'm going to put this down for a minute. Anyway, so class of 81 is going to be graduating. At the beginning of the film, there's a race with great music where the girl's running and Christopher George is the coach, saying, "Come on, you can do it," and all this, keep moving, like a coach does. Well, the girl's boyfriend and the rest of her team are watching, basically they're like a sports team. Um, Hold on, sorry. Oh, she wins. The girl wins, and then she collapses because she had a blood clot that kills her. The boyfriend runs over, all upset, hysterical. Everybody's gobsmacked, but the music at the beginning is great. Awesome. Right, 5 minute intro, great. So, after that, you get introduced to the older sister, who basically, for some reason, seems to be in the truck. Got a ride from a bloke in a truck who seems to be gay. He's got this weird scarf around his neck. But then he comes on to her and says, also, she's a lesbian, and says, "You're not the lesbian." Time she grabs hold of his balls, and threatens him. So she gets out, and because she sees this girl running along. And then this girl gets killed in the woods. So you're like, is it her? Is she killed? Is she the killer? Ooh. So basically the mystery keeps on, and basically one by one, members of the team end up getting killed. And if you've seen Fatal Games, it's kind of like that, how they get killed off one by one kind of thing. Not the same story at all, nothing similar like that, but the kind of way they get killed off, except in this they get killed off with kind of different weapons and stuff. In Fatal Games they all get killed with a javelin practically, so it is different in that aspect too, but I'm just saying one by one. Some of the kills are fantastic. Like, I love the one at the concert with the music playing, with the girl, and I love when the head comes off. And I have to admit, I like the timing because it makes you think oh, is it the coach? Is it the coach? And to be honest with you, you have to wait and find out because I don't want to spoil it. There's moments in it where you think, oh, is it this character? Is it the sister? Is it the coach? Or is it the boyfriend? Because it says on the back, is it her angry sister, her violent boyfriend? Now, I didn't think her boyfriend was that violent until he got angry. I didn't think he was that violent at all. So anyway. So basically, you're supposed to think, basically the coach is always fishy, he's pushing his team, one by one they end up getting killed, and the boyfriend, Kevin, seems to be getting closer to the older sister. And the older sister says he's very sweet and very cute and all this, and there's no hanky-panky between them, just really closeness, I guess because they were both really close to the sister, one being the sister, one being the boyfriend. So, we get to the end climax, and I have to admit, I was disappointed. I didn't remember the ending that well. Sorry, I didn't remember the ending that well, but when it got to it, I was disappointed. I felt like it was over long. If they'd have ended it where they should have, when the killer goes out the window, it would have been far better. I said this in my faults thing, but I thought it should have ended there. Because when the killer chases the person and basically is just running around after them and all this for like 10 minutes, it just makes it look stupid. It's a great 80's movie from 1980. I think it was 1981. Yep, 1981. It's a great movie. I think the ending ruins it a lot because the shock factor is in a house, and when you get it, you're like, oh, and then what happens when the killer goes through the window, you're like, this is a great way to end it. But then the killer gets straight back home, walks straight through the door again about 10 seconds later. And in my view, that kind of ruined it because no one would do that, And being chased all the way somewhere else was just ridiculous because there's all these houses you could have gone by. But yeah, the film, I gave it a 4 out of 5. Because it's 80's, it's classic. You don't expect a lot, but you do at the same time. I think it's a fantastic movie. I just think that it gets slow at times, and some of it doesn't make sense. Like where the bodies are hidden. People would have figured out where those bodies were weeks ago, or whenever it was. They would have found out. They would have figured out where those bodies were. I think it's like what, a couple of days. Um, but I mean, they find them when when the killer's chasing the person, that person finds all of them. And then how the killer gets killed is just ridiculous. And a bit fake. The original way would have been better, you know, out the window. So that's why I give it a 4, because I think the ending could have been better. The fact that somebody, would go around the school killing people, and no one would seem to notice that much. I mean, Christopher George, he's the coach. Yeah, when these people don't turn up, he doesn't seem to care. After a while, he's just like, oh, I don't care. If they're not here, screw them, basically. And you're like, but as the coach, wouldn't you be worried after you've built these relationships with his kids? There's a bit where he said he spent a relationship getting to know Lauren, I think her name was. It doesn't say her name, but I think her name was Lauren. Or Nora, it was something like that. And he says about 4 years, so with the others, he must have spent years with them. But he doesn't care about where they are. He asks a couple of times. But he doesn't go looking for them. And then when he's in trouble, he runs. You know, I felt like playing the song Catch the Pigeon, Catch the Pigeon. Because you're like, what's going on? You know? And the police in it are just so stupid. But anyway, it's an 80s movie, what do you expect? It's probably one of the best 80s movies out there. I think it's a great killer movie, great like slasher killer movie. It's awesome. Obviously, it's nowhere as good as Prom Night, but then I'm biased because I love that film. I hope you enjoyed the review. I know I'm a little bit rusty, and I know it's not as great as it could have been, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Please leave your comments, and please let me know what you think of the film yourself. And if you've got any things you want to point out which I might have missed, let me know, and I'll respond to you. And I'd enjoy the conversation, to be honest, about films. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take care, and buy Graduation Day on Blu-ray. You won't regret it. It's regional. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Take care. Buy the movie for Vinegar Syndrome, or if you're in England, wait until it comes out over there, because it's coming out over there, I think, this month or next month. So enjoy the film. Go out and buy it. It's worth buying. I enjoyed it again. I thought it was fantastic. It's a 4 out of 5 from me. And let me know what you think of the film if you've seen it. So thanks again. Take care, guys. And thanks to the viewer who was watching. Enjoy the film.